AITA for asking my coworker for petty cash when they had already left for the day. I don't want to give away too many details, but the job I have requires us to drive pretty long distances in work vehicles. Previous to this year, we were expected to use our own money to fill up the cars, older Chevy Suburbans, so very large tanks, and then submit a receipt to be reimbursed. Many of our employees don't always have an extra $100 to $150 to put in a gas tank when needed, so the company decided to start issuing petty cash ahead of time to the employees, at our request. The issue with this is the employees have to request the petty cash in the middle of their very busy shifts within a relatively small window of time, 5 or 6 hours versus the 12 to 15-hour shift I'm working. When I mentioned to my manager that this might pose some issues, like people forgetting to request it while we're in the middle of our very long and hectic shift, I was met with no empathy or any compromise on the situation even after posing alternate solutions. Fast forward a couple weeks, I made a request after hours and the employee in charge of the petty cash had already left for the day. She said she didn't mind going back in to give it to me since she lives very close to work within 5 minutes. She said I could always ask her after hours since it's not inconvenient for her to come back in. Last week, as we were driving back to our home base, I texted that employee for petty cash 1 minute after her 6-hour window closed, literally 1 minute. Since she previously said it wasn't an issue, I thought she would just say sure and do it. Instead, she responded saying that she wasn't there and no one else can give us petty cash and that I should have texted her earlier while she was at work. I don't have access to this person's schedule. If she doesn't come to work or takes off early, none of us are notified. I responded by saying I wasn't sure what to do because the cars were going to be empty by the time we got back and for sure needed gas in them for the next day, and that she had told me previously that she would still come do it even after hours. Her response was, "It's my dead husband's birthday today." I am obviously sympathetic to her grieving the loss of her husband, as we've talked about it at length previously, but this comment really just upset me because it made me feel like an a-holy for trying to do my job in the way that I was told I could do it. Side note, I know her husband's name and that he died, but am not close enough to her to know when his birthday was, so phrasing it like that just seemed unnecessarily harsh. I did not respond to her text because I felt like any response would have been the wrong thing to say. She eventually texted later saying she did come it and issue petty cash for us. I didn't respond to that either. When I came into work the next day, she completely ignored me when previously she has always been very talkative. So, AITA for requesting petty cash a literal minute after this employee's shift ended.